On the surface, not much has changed with the fleet of Philippine Airlines since our last deep dive into this carrier and its collection of aircraft. When we put out a video in October 2022 on this airline, it had 76 aircraft. Now, about 1.5 years later, it has 79. Since the last Philippine Airlines examination, we've seen the airline log its first post-pandemic profit. No doubt good news for executives working in Manila. At the same time, however, we've also seen reports that the airline was facing difficulties in finding available Airbus A350 or Boeing 777 aircraft to meet the post-pandemic demand. As a result of the struggle, it has placed an order for brand new A350-1000s, while reportedly considering newer replacements for its A330 fleet in the next few years. Let's take a look at all of this for today's video. According to data from chaviation.com, Philippine Airlines has the following aircraft in its fleet: 11 de Havilland Canada-8400s, 15 A320-200s, 22 A321-200s, 8 A321neos, 11 A330-300s, 2 A350-900s, and 10 777-300ERs. Notably, some aircraft, namely all of the Dash 8 turboprops and some of the older A320 and A321s, are technically operated by the airline's regional subsidiary PAL Express. So what has changed since our last fleet examination in October 2022? Well, not much, actually. It appears that 0 aircraft were retired, while some aircraft were brought out of storage and reactivated. Some of these aircraft, though having been physically stored, may have been listed as part of the fleet in 2022 anyways. Reactivated aircraft include a Dash 8 that had been stored in North Bay, Ontario, Canada, as well as 2 Airbus A330-300s that have been stored at various facilities in Europe over the past several years. The airline also added a Boeing 777-300ER in March 2024 that was previously operated by Garuda Indonesia. The airline is due to add another one of these ex-Garuda 777s quite soon, and so fleet numbers may change slightly in the near future. As we mentioned in our previous video on Philippine Airlines, the carrier had removed 4 of its A350-900s in late 2020 and early 2021. These aircraft were scooped up by German carrier Lufthansa as it had been pursuing its own fleet expansion and modernization strategy. Philippine Airlines might have regretted its decision to get rid of the 4 A350-900s. Of course, at the time, it had little choice as it was facing bankruptcy due to the devastation of the pandemic. However, the rebound in travel has left the carrier in a much better financial position and in turn searching for more capacity for expansion. It was in early April 2023 that we reported the carrier posting an operating income of $297.2 million and a total comprehensive income of $196.9 million for 2022. This news marked the first positive full-year operating income for the airline since 2019. 2022 revenue was up 112% over revenue posted in 2021. The carrier said the gain came from increased demand after travel restrictions were lifted. Airline President and Chief Operating Officer Captain Stanley Nung said the airline was, quote, "very grateful for the support of our customers that enabled the airline to achieve this positive result amidst a challenging year." Nung also added, "We're even more determined to upgrade our fleet, build more connections to key markets, and offer improved products and services." Nung was serious about his airline's journey of recovery and renewal. Indeed, in May 2023, we learned that Philippine Airlines was experiencing challenges in expanding its wide-body fleet to strengthen its long-haul operations. As disclosed by the airline's president and chief operating officer, the airline was facing difficulty in finding available Airbus A350 or Boeing 777 airframes. According to Nung, the airline was facing growth constraints due to supply chain issues and competition with global carriers for aircraft and spare parts. At the time, the carrier had just emerged from bankruptcy proceedings and was on the hunt for more wide-body aircraft. Nung said the following to a local newspaper: "If we can get more planes, we can expand immediately, but we can't. There's a plan to finalize new orders, but it'll take 2 years to deliver the aircraft." Nung also noted it had been challenging to retrieve grounded planes, with the earliest opportunity for the airline to obtain new aircraft being in 2025. Seeing clear blue skies ahead in terms of market conditions, Philippine Airlines has committed to ordering 9 Airbus A350-1000s. This order began with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding or MOU in May 2023 and was converted to a firm order about a month later at the Paris Air Show. According to details shared by Philippine Airlines at the time, the carrier will fly the A350-1000 in a 3-class configuration with business, premium economy and economy cabins. In total, the airline plans capacity for 380 passengers on board. While the balance of seating wasn't specified, this will be a small step up from the carrier's Boeing 777-300ERs, which seat 370 passengers in a 2-class configuration. The future aircraft are being targeted at non-stop trans-Pacific and trans-polar routes, such as those connecting the Philippines with lucrative destinations in the US, Canada, and Europe. Speaking on this, the airline CEO said, "The Airbus 350-1000's extended range opens up a world of opportunities and possibilities for us, allowing us to connect even more destinations across the world. Our commitment to Philippine tourism and the economy remains our top priority." It was also made clear at the time that the incoming A350-1000s would be for fleet expansion and not just for fleet renewal and modernization. Indeed, in terms of modernization, the A330-300s will be replaced at some point in the future. Their average age at the time of this video's production is a little over 10 years. The airline notes that replacement options for these will be considered in the next 2 to 3 years. It'll be interesting to see what the carrier will choose to replace its A330ceo aircraft. The clear choice would be the A330-900 of the A330neo series. While it hasn't been the most popular wide-body family globally, particularly when compared to the success of the Boeing 787 family, we've seen the A330neo operated by several carriers in the Southeast Asia region, including fellow Philippine carrier Cebu Pacific, as well as Air Asia and Garuda Indonesia. Additionally, Malaysia Airlines will soon operate the type, having ordered 20 A330-900s. So that's the state of Philippine Airlines in early 2024. The carrier is obviously in a much better position than it was during the pandemic. Sadly, the devastation of the global health crisis forced the carrier to reduce its fleet. This left it in a weak position by the time the travel market had recovered. Nonetheless, the reactivation of A330s and the addition of 2 more 777-300ERs will certainly help with capacity in the short term. It'll certainly be exciting to see the carrier operate the A350-1000 in the coming years, while perhaps also revealing a replacement for its older A330s. What do you think of the current state of Philippine Airlines? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.